to hear more about themselves. Because Lord, we don't know enough about ourselves to live well. So we thank you, oh God, for Dr. Denise, Dr. Ruthann, and anybody else who's coming up to help to present this presentation for tonight, oh God. We thank all of the participants for coming in. And for those who are on the way, oh God, bless them, oh God. Have their quicten their steps, oh God, so they can have a good time getting here, oh Father, so they don't miss anything. So we thank you, oh God, for what we're about to hear. We heard some last week and we're ready again this week, oh God. So we thank you. In your name, we praise you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen and amen. Thank you so much, Queen Mava. Listen, guys, like I said before, if you haven't already, send out those last minute texts to get your guests on as we get started. I know this week she is going to be speaking on the lymphatic system. And guys, the lymphatic system can wreak havoc on your body if not taken care of correctly. And I am super, super excited to have our presenter this evening. She is Joy Piera Bissar, quote unquote, I call her AKA Dr. Denise, out of Trinidad and Tobago by way of St. Lucia as well. And she's an orthomolecular specialist. She looks at blood all day. And I mean, she goes deep. But not only does she do that, like my mom said, she listened into the program last week and she said, Ruthann, man, the qualifications that lady has behind her name is absolutely amazing. I said, Mommy, and she's a phenomenal individual as well. So without further ado, let me step out of the way so that because she's going to impart so much information that you're going to want to have your pen and paper ready to take copious notes, so that you can sit at her feet and learn, because this is what this is about. These forums are about learning and understanding who we are as male and female. And so tonight it's all about the women, and Dr. Denise is out there to impart that information. Dr. Denise, take us away.
Hi, guys. Good night, all. Good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Beautiful, beautiful bringing out there, Dr. Ruthann. Guys, tonight, I know we had spoken. She said we're going to speak about the lymphatic system, but I want to paint a story and a picture, as always, we're going to talk a little bit about what is the microbiome and the vaginal microbiome. All right, so as you see on this line, for those of you who are new, I am Joy Pereira Vicessa. I am my own business owner, Gift of Health Limited, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm also my other business, Isaac Preventative Maintenance, St. Lucia. My specialty is in orthomolecular medicine. I am a clinical microscopy blood cell analyst as well as a nutritionist. My general training in the field of hematopathology, which is clinical microscopy blood cell analyzing. I am also into nanomedicine, quantum medicine, and in-depth training in energy medicine, as well as pharmacogenetics, which basically is the studying of how people respond differently to drug therapy based on their genetic makeup and genes. Pharmacokinetics, which is your journey into drugs when you are using through your different phases, how the body absorbs, distribute, metabolize, and excrete, the 4 steps. And also in pharmacokinetics, which basically, describe what the body does to a drug, refers to the movement of drugs into the system and out of the body, its course of absorption and bioavailability, etc. I'm also a nutritionist, nutritional biology and neuroscience using non-linear 9D scales, diagnostic technology, quantum medicine. And my belief is wholeheartedly, we must return to the gifts of nature and the quest for balance in wisdom of mind, body, and soul. So in everything I do, I combine ancient wisdom, traditions, and modern medicine. So I marry the two. All right. So let's get into our session tonight. I want to ask a question here. What if there were scientific solutions that could wipe out your deepest fears of falling ill? I am trying to get my slide working here. Please excuse me, the internet is horrible. We have rain here in Trinidad, so, bear with me. So what if there were scientific solutions that could wipe out your deepest fears of falling ill, receiving a life-threatening diagnosis, or feeling the effects of aging? Sink that in. In a world full of fear and uncertainty about our health, it can be difficult for us to know where to turn for actionable advice that you can trust. Isn't that what we are facing in this day and age? All right. So tonight I want to touch on vaginal microbiome medicine. All right. I want you to understand. You see a nice little slide, a little picture there with all the microbes, and all the baby is engulfed into the microbe. All right. So keep that picture in mind. Thomas Edison said, the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. Let me say that again. The doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. Nutrition. What that is telling us. I love Dr. Lyndon H. Smith. You know why? If you don't want to take in what Hippocrates said, and also what the other Edison said. Now, this is a doctor in our 20th or 21st century. Professor of Clinical Pediatrics, Oregon Health Science University, Portland, Oregon, says, modern drugs and vaccines have proven to be a hoax in attaining health. They have brought false hopes. The vaccinations are not working and they are dangerous. We should be working with nature. I am saying no more. Okay? Dr. Lyndon said it himself. This is what we are facing in today's world. Oxidative stress, by sun rays stress, pesticides, insecticides, air pollution, tobacco smoking, metabolic syndrome and obesity, high consumption of sugar and carbohydrates, saturated fats, sedentary lifestyles, okay? Hormone balance and digestive problems by eating processed foods, foods low in minerals, especially magnesium, imbalance of the intestinal flora. What causes it to go out of balance? Excess sugar, antibiotic, stress, nutritional deficiency. So there you have it, folks. A wonderful combination. Oxidative stress, what goes on in the blood. Metabolic syndrome, digestion, metabolizing, stomach, small intestines, hormonal imbalance and digestive problems, which happens where, you know, female issues and all of that. Okay. And the imbalance of the intestinal flora. So there you have it in all areas, all aspects of the body. So today I want to touch on, we're going to talk a little bit about the vaginal microbiome and what is there. So this is our highlight of what we are about to read and see. Now, the 1 in 8 couples, as you are seeing on the slide, say 1 in 8 couples will experience difficulty getting pregnant or sustaining a pregnancy. Now, why is that? All right. We have infertility, a third attributed to the female, a third attributed to the male, and a third attributed to combination of both partners or unexplained. Okay. Infections of the reproductive system can have serious pregnancy-related outcomes. Now, what that causes the body, what happens with the immunity of the vagina, because the microbiome is out of balance, out of whack. And as we go deeper, you will understand, because many of you who has been, you know, on our programs, and Master Clive, the king of microbiome, talks extensively of how important the microbiome is. All right. So here we are seeing the vaginal microbiota, which is all the nice bacteria that plays a pivotal role in defense of infections against the reproductive system. In today's world, many of us are trying and want to become pregnant, because I am dealing with a lot of females and young girls who are fighting to become pregnant. Now, I'm being real here. I'm being down to earth here. All right. It is an issue and a problem. And what is happening, we are seeing infections within any organ system can be detrimental to fertility and pregnancy. All right. The vaginal microbial community plays an important role in vaginal innate immunity, in its innate ability to procreate. All right. And why is that so? We have outcomes of disrupted vaginal microbiome, and what has happened is happening to the body. Okay, so when these microbes go out of balance, which is the which is lactobacillus, all right, that's the main bacteria in the vagina that goes out of balance. When that goes out of balance and the community goes out of balance, we have issues happening. Okay, so it is important that we keep the vaginal microbiome, the lactobacillus, very happy, because if it's not happy, we're going to have issues and problems. Okay, and what we have to understand that the pH level in the vaginal canal is supposed to be at least 3.8 to 4.5. If it goes over that, infections start to take place. All right. And then we have a lot of issues starting to happen. Okay. So as we moved from the microbial compounds and what happens with the vagina, I cannot help but go back to where the origin God said, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be food. Okay? Genesis 1:29. What that is telling us. Okay? So this is what we have in our system. In humans, the composition of the gastrointestinal microbiome is established during birth. Birth by cesarean section or C-section or vaginal delivery also influences the gut's microbial composition. You saw the little baby sitting on the microbes, right? Babies born through the vaginal canal have non-pathogenic beneficials gut microbiota, all right? Similar to those found in the mother. So non-pathogenic, what that tells us, for those, in explaining, those are organisms, right, that do not cause disease, harm, or death to another organism, all right?
We're not hearing you.
Handle. Are you guys hearing me?
We can hear you now. You just went out for like a few seconds there.
Okay. All right.
So if you go back like 30 seconds or 40 seconds and speak,
okay,
and then we,
great.
yes, ma'am.
All right. In humans, all right, the gastrointestinal microbiome is established during birth. Okay. That is the second brain. All right. Birth by C-section or vaginal delivery influences the gut's microbial composition. So I was explaining, when babies born through the vaginal canal have non-pathogenic beneficial gut microbiota similar to those found in this mummy. So what that tells us is that these organisms are those that do not cause disease, harm, or death to another organism. That is what is the meaning of non-pathogenic. Okay. So what we are seeing when the baby is being born through the vaginal canal, you notice the baby head's turned to the back. What happens there is all its face actually is scraping through the microbiota and getting all of its mummy's microbiome and bacteria. So that is absorbed into the skin, into the nose, into the eyes, into the mouth, so that he can build a great immunity within the system. And we'll talk about that in other sessions later. But just to let you know that A C-section baby will get the clinical microbiota, which means he will have strep, he will staph, he will have E. coli, and all of these things. And it can cause a hamper to his immune system. So hence, when a baby C-section baby is born, which maybe some of you know, which maybe some of you don't know, what they do, they swab the mommy's vagina and then they rub that over the baby's face so that at least he could get some of the microbiota from mommy. Okay, so these microbes, all right, is defined as a collective genomes of the microbes. What is your genomes? It is composed of bacteria, bacteriophage, fungi, protozoa, and viruses that live inside and on the human body. We don't realize how important these microbes are. We have about 10 times as many microbial cells as human cells. So what is telling us? We say we call ourselves a human, right? Or human being. We are a being because all of these microbes live within us and it is outside of the human sphere. So we have to understand that these are what governs our body. And when these microbes governs our body, these bacteria help to maintain balance. Now we're talking about female health. And you might be wondering why I'm talking about all of this. This is the beginning and the base and the foundation of why we are having all these issues within our tissues in human health and female health, both male and female. Is because of these issues and these microbes, we are not feeding it the proper nutrition it needs. That's why it's turning against us, because these keep the immune system from going into overdrive. You see, humans have evolved to live symbiotically with the life within and around us. It's no longer good bacteria, bad bacteria. Now the word on the tongue is microbiome. You know why? Microbiome has been around over how many thousands of years old, but it's only now they are talking the correct word. Like for instance, let me give you an example. You know, when you're growing up, mommy will call the female areas, you know, a funny name or a pet name or something, a butterfly or whatever. I teach my children, it's a vagina, call it a vagina, okay? A penis, you know how you guys call it in whatever country or part of the world you are. It's a penis and a vagina. Call it by its anatomical name, all right? So we have to understand what is the microbiome and what its definition is within our human body. So as we evolve with life, because life is no longer 10 and 15 years ago, it's granny and grandpa used to live on the produce of the land and live long and healthy 90, 110, 140 years. What is our lifespan today? We supposed to live 100 at least 40, all right? Now we are dying 310, they are saying, but you know, that is not so. If we will feed our microbiome, live in the land where we grow up, we would be more healthier. But what we are doing, we are killing our inside slowly. So as life is evolving, guess what happens? Our microbes are evolving to learn to live with us. So the life it's learning to live with, we have to optimize our wellness by introducing probiotics, fermented and anti-inflammatory herbs, as well as diverse diets of fruits and roots to lower risk of infectious diseases, which is happening now to the humankind. All right. So now we have to diversify our microbiome. And when we are diversifying our microbiome, it means that viruses and bacteria that inhabits our body now is linked symbiotically. So we are saying, okay, the new word on the tongue or on the human tongue, sorry, is COVID, C19. So what is this doing? And we have to live symbiotically with it. So what this is understanding, it is understanding our genomic structure and trying to live with us. So it's like you sleeping and living with your husband or your wife or your significant other. That's what this is all about. Okay, so we are not going to give you your mortality, it's saying, you know, but we have to it's experiencing the mutation of what everyday life is about, because everything is evolving. We are into the AI, we are into the fourth industrial revolution stage. Okay, so these viruses have 28 trillion microbes and over 400 trillion viruses which are living within the human body. So if all of these trillions are living within us, are you looking at yourself differently now? And a lot of them comprised of human bacteria. So while these are living within our gut, there could be up to 500 trillion of these in our gut, which we call it the virome. So every time we get a virus, okay, in our system, bacteria will react. So every time we enter an antibiotic or foods that hamper these wonderful trillions of bacteria in our gut to live, we suppress our innate system to deal with the viruses and diseases. So are you getting the picture now? Okay. So what we are saying is that our microbiome is essential for human development, immunity, and nutrition. All right. And the bacteria living in and on us are not invaders, but beneficial colonizers. Okay. Autoimmune diseases such as diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, and fibromyalgia are associated, etc., and such more with dysfunction in our microbiome. So we need to love our microbiome. We need to love our bacteria, as you would say. We need to love our genomic structure, because if we don't, we'll find ourselves withering. So it puts me to the next slide, that what is really orthomolecular medicine? All right. Orthomolecular medicine is simply the treatment of diseases by provision of optimum molecular environment, okay, where the body can take special concentrations, substances, and introduce it to the body so that it can help treat diseases. And also, you know, it is based on the vision and insight of people like Pauline, we spoke about, and Hippocrates. All right. So as you see on the slide, what if our prescription was like that? Anybody can identify? What if our prescription was like that? Fruits and vegetables, vitamin C's, D's, 3, sunlight, and so forth. All right. We must understand that each of us has a unique fingerprint, right? So is our body. It's uniquely shaped in different physical and emotional stresses, and we evolve. So once we analyze our body and understand our body, one size don't fit all people. Is that how we are being treated? One size fit all? No, it don't fit all. Everybody is unique in their own way. So the concept now is through nutrition, because in nutrition, it analyzes cell behavior and how cell absorbs nutrients best for our health and physical maintenance. All right. And Sankey Meyer has done that for us. 40 years and plus in the making, Sankey Meyer Laboratories in Tokyo, Japan, started to investigate the centenarians on the island of Okinawa. And what they found, they started to look at about over people who are over age 100 centenarians. And they noticed that they did not suffer from chronic degenerative illnesses. They had an abundance of energy and maintained astounding physical activity. Listen, folks, we can attest to that because we have seen some of these people, some persons who have had loved ones and so forth. I mean, in those areas are very healthy. And what that is telling us, it's telling us that the key factor, which is a big fancy word called homeostasis, which is the intelligent force homeostasis, which refers to the capacity of an organism to self-regulate and not develop degenerative diseases. So Sankey Meyer Laboratories developed these active ingredients to push the generation of vital metabolites to achieve this, to restore people's strength and keep longevity. So by using advanced sciences like nutrigenomics, which is the study of how people sleep, eat, diet, their lifestyle, and the genetics, they came about with these wonderful supplements. I don't call them products, I call them supplements, all right, called the Hasaki Belage Inner 7 and Prenu Fire. So I'm not sure if I have Master Clive on who can take away Hasaki for me.
No, I don't see him on right now. He's not on right now.
All right. Dr. Rutan, would you like to do Hasaki and Belage tonight?
No problem. So our Hasaki is made out of the cacao and it has over 596 metabolites. And as she said, these are something that we need in our body in order to digest. And it has that. Also, it's able to turn up and turn down the estrogen and testosterone in our body and the flora. So it's simply an amazing product. And, you know, I remember Dr. Laney always said, and he's a gastroenterologist from Cleveland Clinic, his amazement was the coating of the product, that it was able to pass through the gastric acid and still come out and do what it needed to do. That always amazed him. But it improves protein absorption by 20% and it sustains proper weight management. But this is also, it provides vital energy to trillions of the mitochondria. So this is a product that we definitely tell persons that, you know, get on board when you're having even leaky gut, if you're having acid reflux, if men are having prostate issues. And we're not here to cure or mitigate any disease, but we are here to give you some amazing formulations that can assist and aid in bringing your body to a restorative state.
Wonderful. And before Dr. Rutan jumping in with Belage, I want to let you know, we're talking about women's health, overall health. And when the body doesn't have these four, did you know that PCOS, fibroids, and all of these female issues, infertility arise from because you're not digesting in the gut? So you got the answer to start helping part with some of these conditions, the Hasaki.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
So our Belage, it says here Orzod Enzyme 3, but guess what? We are now at Orzod Enzyme 5. Let me tell you something. The company Sankey Mayor is constantly improving the supplements and formulations, which I think is amazing because, you know, oftentimes companies will create their formulation and then stop. It works, so I'm good. But because there's a longevity that's associated with Sankey Mayor and Sankey itself, which is a 100-year legacy, they want to constantly improve what they have to make it the best on the market. And we are the first and only that have not only an advanced delivery system, but something that's able to get into the body and deal with the microcirculation. This is what the Belage deals with, the microcirculation, and is able to start working on that within 20 minutes with an advanced delivery system. Nobody else in the world can pop their collar, toot their horn, or stomp their feet stating that they have that. And that is one of the major things that Belage has on its table. It's always also 100% natural, 100% plant-based. It strengthens the immune system. This product here is phenomenal, like she said, for women's issues. Once it gets in, it's dealing with the gut. As you heard Dr. Denise say, all of our issues are stemming in the gut. And if anybody followed Dr. Sebi, they would have known that's what his philosophy was. Once you can get that gut balance, get rid of that inflammation, get rid of that mucus buildup, guess what? Your body can do what God created it to do, which is heal itself. And that is basically what this Belage is doing, is bringing the body to a level of homeostasis, which Dr. Denise mentioned earlier. It is going to strengthen the immune system, increase energy production. It's going to reactivate natural antioxidants in the body and decrease fats, sugars, and improving blood circulation. You have to understand that the life of the flesh is in the blood. And so if you can get your microcirculation pumping the way it needs to, you will start seeing a difference in your body when it comes to all of the ailments or disabilities that might be happening.
Beautifully said. I don't need to go any further. Well, this is my baby, the Inner 7 essential minerals for the body, over 60 plus minerals, balance and connect. Folks, you believe that minerals is the foundation of all life force in the mitochondria in the blood life cells? The minerals are made up of these micronutrients, which activates metabolism. You keep us hearing about metabolizing, absorption, amino acids, which are actually the building blocks of life, and breaking down of the foods as well. Minerals are 100% natural. It improves your natural defense mechanism. Did you know that magnesium, we look at magnesium earlier on, it showed up on the slides when persons' bodies are going into, depression, anxiety, and so forth. Magnesium is the fourth most abundant mineral. 66% of it is found in our bones, 33% in our skeletal and cardiac muscle. All right. The rest is in connective tissues. So it helps with diseases such as autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, and lupus, to name a few. All right. Magnesium also converts blood sugar to energy, and it's natural anti-stress agent. It also attracts water to the intestines as soon as digested and reduces constipation because it makes you feel thirsty. It makes you want to drink water when you're on the inner seven, the minerals. All right. It has also helped with persons who have bladder infection, cystitis, prevalence caused by the bacteria E. coli. Now, we talk about all these wonderful bacteria, microbiomes in our body, but if it goes out of balance, and we do not feed it what it needs, we're going to have problems. We're going to die fast. We're going to age. We're going to, our eyesight, a lot of things are going to happen to us. All right. Calcium also helps to reduce body acidity. Now, calcium is not only important for teeth and bones, but it also helps to oxygenate the red blood cells, build red blood cells in the bone marrow, and do all these other wonderful things. Oxygenate the blood cells in the veins and arteries, even strengthen the veins and arteries as well. Selenium has the effect on vitamin C, which regenerates and protects at microcirculation. How many of us are not getting blood flow at microcirculation? Meaning that it is not going in these smaller blood vessels in the capillaries in our body, varices of veins, the darkness around the feet, you having, osteochondrosis and all of these things, your nerve ending spinal injuries, or maybe just, nerve decompression, the discs and so forth, right? Potassium regulates the heart and muscle, promotes smooth transition of signals caused along the stimuli along nerves. Sometimes, the potassium works direct with the thyroids and so forth, because if the thyroids are not getting the minerals to create these hormones so that the body can regulate, we're going to have problems. You might start to feel palpitation of the heart, anxiety, and so forth. Hello, you're not getting a heart attack. You will know when you're getting a heart attack. It comes with certain, conditions and feelings. But sometimes it might just be a potassium drop a little low. Ischemia, you getting, palpitations, irregular heartbeats, arrhythmias of the heart, and so forth. Copper regulates your blood cholesterol. Very good for the liver, because the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder works hand in hand to help digest and, break down the foods that we eat. Zinc, men's health. How many of our men are suffering in these times? Okay, prostatic calcification simply means that there is a enlargement of the prostate. It can be a urethra issue, persons who have had bladder stones in their kidneys and so forth, a lot of things, and it has actually helped persons who, I had a testimony of a woman. She said she didn't realize she had stones, and when she started to drink the NS7, she said she started to get this burning and itching, and she was wondering what is happening. I asked her how her urine looked. She said a little bit of stripes of blood in the urine. I said, girl, stones coming out. She didn't even know that. Well, she went to get her medical done, and it was so said, stones started to come out. So it is cleaning the body. Folks, what the microbiome don't want, it will start cleaning out when it gets what it really wants. Okay, so there you have it for the inner seven. Is Nurse Donnelly on so she can do the chrono, Dr. Ruthan?
I don't see her. I don't see her on right now.
Okay. Would you like me to do it, or you?
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Great. Well, USC restore and protect. She's in beautiful sleep. How many of us go to sleep but we don't rest? There's a difference. Okay. So here we have our fire, which is loaded with, it's an oxalian nitric perfected with black bean, olive, rosemary, and green tea. The oxalian nitric is a synergistic biocomposite that formulates to help add weight loss by reducing digestion of dietary carbohydrates in our bodies. All right. So sometimes our insulin, our glucose levels may not necessarily be from the foods that we eat, but because of our carbs are storing, it produces adipose tissue, which is glucose, high glucose levels in the body. So what the oxalian nitric does, it helps break that down. Is a formula combined with bioactive herbal plants, the olive and the rosemary, powerful antioxidants, and the black bean, which inhibits the enzymatic digestion of these polysaccharides. Okay, so it helps you to lose the weight while you sleep. Okay, it increases thermogenesis. So you might feel when you drink it, you feel a little heat in the body, which is breaking down these adipose tissue, the fatty tissues, because while you rest, your body digests and assimilate metabolism. Okay, it metabolizes. So it also helps to protect in the protection of the gastrointestinal tract and oxidative stress. All right. It is also helps in terms of improvement of the antioxidant capacity within the body, rate reduction. We spoke about that. It also reduces cardiovascular risk. So it is actually a supplement that helps in digestion. Many of us have these problems with digestion. Any disease or issues within the body, and I don't say disease, I call it a dis-ease within the human body, stems from digestion. When the body, it does not metabolize three simple things: your lipids, your amylase, your glucose, and all of these that helps in digestion. Okay, breaks down three things: sugar, oils, and fats. Okay, simple. It also helps reduce cardiovascular risk. It also helps in the blood pressure levels and also reduce inflammatory factors in the body. So it will improve you in general health on a daily basis, because metabolizing is important when it comes to any issue within the tissues in the body. Okay, so there you have the 4 supplements, the 4 formulations, I call it the Fantastic 4. And if you want further, understanding, we are not about opinions. And as Dr. Rutan said, we're not here to make any claims or anything, but all we know at working at the cellular level, because I'm a cellular analyst, so working at the cellular level is where these nutrients need to bombard those cells from a nanotechnology form, absorbing little at a time, so that we can do the repair work in our bodies. We have 50 plus years of scientific research. We have all our manuals right there at our disposal, pharmaceutical specialties, and a blue ocean strategy, which we are new and we are moving forward. Okay, what some of these equipment does, it helps in the findings in physics, is some of the equipments I use as well, so that I can analyze what is going on in quantum medicine. Right? What it basically does, it's particular quantum meta analyzing, which then can be used for diagnosis and therapy. So everything that you see there on the screen is everything that, I work with, so hence the reason in working at cellular nutrition. We talk about pharmacogenetics, pharmacokinetics, and all of that, understanding how the body functions under distress. Now, here you have a blood side. I always like to put something up so that you can see the reality of what was befores and afters, what a person's body looked like. On the left is a cancer cell. Yes, a cancer cell, breast cancer cell. All right. That is how cancer looked in that individual. After 45 minutes of taking the supplements and formulations, on the right side, that is how the body look like. So what it tells us is that if we give our body the nutrients that it needs, it's going to be able to break down all the debris in our body, macrophages, and all these fancy words that I'm calling that you may not be aware of, but I'm explaining to you so that the body can do its wellness in preparation. As Dr. Rutan said earlier on, For the life of the flesh is in the blood, right? For the blood, it makes, it gives us life. Leviticus 17:11. So there's where you have it, viewing under the microscope, and we're seeing these happening. When we give it the nutrition it needs, the cells are happy, circulating once more, being praising the Lord. Hallelujah. I mean, excuse me, but, it is so important that we can, look, these are some of the white blood cells that you see here. If you are seeing my cursor on there, cells are now oxygenated. These are cells that was these before, all right? Everything, the breaking down of all the macrophages and all the things that is causing the distress in the body, okay, has now got life. It has now got oxygen. It has not got minerals. So you see how important our minerals is, that the large and the inner 7. All right, this is what it looks like. So now we are seeing happy cells capable of absorbing nutrients. So your body is made to live. It is made to become well. It is made to do what it was intended to do. And what are we giving it? Are we giving it what it needs, or we are just putting gunk and junk into our system? Stressful thoughts, toxic talks, even toxic people, So this is where we are at. It's mind, body, and soul, people. So I just want to give you a visual as to how we deal with the diseases within the human body. Liquid immunity, this is all we have in our hands. This is what we are. Are we preserving our next generation, or we are dying? I give you a little secret. The medical doctors of today are saying, when we are associated with the clinics and hospitals, and they are telling us that there is no procreation anymore. Babies are not being born. It's a dying world. Actually, the older people living, more than the younger ones are dying. Why is this so? Is it because of our lifestyle? Is it because of what we are thinking? Is it because of what we are doing, eating, and so forth? Chemicals, bombarding by everything that is GMO. Folks, we need to supplement at this point, because if it ain't growing in your backyard, it ain't healthy, because you're eating chemicals and you're drinking chemicals. How many of you have bought your produce and see it melt away in the fridge after 2 days from the market? Okay, so there you have the answer. So folks, tonight I want to thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. I don't like to keep you for too long, so we can take some questions if there are any questions in the room. Dr. Rutan, take it away.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if there are any questions, you can raise your hand so that I can unmute your mic, or you can put it in the chat, whichever you prefer. So if there are any questions, so let us know so that we can answer those questions. Unless you did such an amazing job. It was so informative. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, we have, hold on, Apostle Kim, hold on. Let me just ask her to unmute. You should be able to unmute, Apostle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good night.
Good night.
Queen,
Good night.
how you all doing? How you all doing out there?
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. I was having an awesome time. It came on just a little bit. I was trying to find out today. I have someone who is having seizures, and female, and recommendation on a best. I know I was given, she was with pressure and stuff, giving her the canoe fire. Is any other recommendation?
Dr. Denise?
She's having seizures, you said?
Yes. She had like a brain surgery.
Yes.
Many years ago, and every now and then, she has
Right.
she's been troubled with these seizures.
Okay. Basically, sometimes it goes deeper than that, because sometimes when they do brain surgery, they can affect some of the cranial nerves and tissues that go around the stem of the brain. So it can cause, mild aneurysms, which can cause seizures, blood not getting to these tissues, the ganglion veins in the body. So serious headaches and seizures. Also, if you know that just for information, she could have in the early cardiovascular issues and never know it as well, because later down it shows up. So what I would suggest, we will have to talk about this, or if you can, connect with Dr. Rutan, and we talk about this.
I'll send her your number, Dr.
Yes.
Denise, so that you can
Yes,
speak to her.
because this is more than, but in recommending, I can say that you can give her the Belage as well, and
Okay.
also the inner 7. Now, mind
Okay.
you, when you are taking the inner 7, because of the mineral content, she may
Yes.
get a lot of headaches. So you would have to lower the dosage. So maybe it might be wise to start like half a pack in 8 ounces of water and start taking it slowly. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Yes, because
welcome.
she said,
Welcome.
yeah, the pressures, is fluctuating. Yeah,
Okay.
pressure.
Yeah, so if her pressures is fluctuating, which means there is a cardiovascular issue as well. So, all of those things is, combined. Yeah.
Okay, so she should, yeah, given like you said, add the Belage to
Yes.
open up circulation.
And half pack inner 7.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good night. All right.
Any other questions out there? I know iPhone Joy, I know you had your hand up and then it went down, so I don't know if you had a question or not. So there we go. Go ahead. You should be able to unmute Joy.
I'm
I
not
can.
hearing.
There you go.
Oh,
We can hear
okay.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't before. Thank you so much. Okay. Good night, everyone. Dr. Joy,
Yes,
I have
my
two.
lady.
I have. I have two. I have two questions, please. Okay. The first one is, I know someone who is 35 years old, and she has been trying to get pregnant, and she has a hormonal imbalance, first of all. And she's been trying to get pregnant. She has had like 2 miscarriages. Well, the last one she had a ectopic pregnancy.
Right.
So the baby that was actually, when I saw the picture,
Yes.
the baby was actually, you could formed, I think the baby was 3 months, and it was so sad. And the doctor had to do surgery and take out the baby because that was life threatening, as you know.
Yes.
So her other tube, she lost a fallopian tube, and then the other fallopian tube, now she has a small cyst in it, and she's dying to get pregnant, but she has the hormonal imbalance. And I think you might have to know more about her, I guess. But do you think there's a probability that she could have surgery to is there any hope, you think, for her to have a baby in that tube, because she has a blockage there?
Yes, there is hope, but we will have to deal with this on a private note.
Right.
Not in this session. So you will
Right.
have to get back to me, and we can put
Okay.
her on on a plan. Yes. Moving
Okay, my
forward.
dear.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
that's hope then, that she has hope.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. Yeah, thank the Lord. So, and the other question is, so I can can you tell me, I have your number, so would you be able to get in touch with me at your earliest convenience, please?
Yes, I will. I will
Thank
get
you.
back to you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. And the other question is, I know of someone now who has had chronic migraines. Now she's like in her late 40s
Mhm.
or anyway, mid 40s rather. She has chronic migraine headaches, and it's been very chronic, and she also has hypertension. So what supplements would you recommend for her to take, please?
All right. Now we must remember that diet is important. So dairy
Right.
products is totally out of the picture. And also anything that is in a processed way. And, she has to go on more raw foods. Well, when I
Okay.
mean raw, you don't eat the carrot raw. Somebody asked me that, but
You can't eat raw carrot raw. I eat carrots raw.
no,
No.
meaning that when I say raw food, they say, okay, so I have to eat the carrot raw, the vegetables raw. No, 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 no. You steam them, you can juice them as well. But
Okay.
the products that would help with that is she can combine all three. Um, Belage Prenu and Inner 7, drink it warm, half pack start off as starters, twice for the
Half
day,
bath.
and do her Hasaki, to help with the microbiome, because migraines actually stem from a lot of inflammation, and sometimes can mean that there are blockages, capillaries, tissues popping in the brain and so forth that can bring on those things, as well as low minerals in the body. Yeah. So if the
Oh,
iron is low, the hemocritin in her blood cells is low. That is warrant for steaming headaches. So all of those things we have to consider if she's anemic as well.
what is warrant for steaming headaches? What is that you mentioned?
Low iron in the blood. Low
Oh,
iron.
low
in the blood.
iron.
Yes, so she can be
Okay.
probably anemic as well, and nobody knows that. Yes.
So you can get headaches from that.
Yes,
Okay.
B12s and B6, B1 thiamine could be very, very low in her system.
So you said, let me recap. You said Belage, Inner 7, and Hasaki. What are the three you said?
Prenu, she can do all three. Prenu,
I mean,
and
Cranu,
then she can
sorry.
do. Yes, and then she can do her Hasakis in as a meal replacement or in her smoothies as such. Yeah.
And you said to start off with half a pack twice a day?
Half a pack of each, warm, twice.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
For how long do you think?
Well, it's according to how our body go. Everybody's system works differently.
Right.
So she will have to take it. Normally, I say you start the body within 3 to 6 months on the supplements. In there, you can gauge what's happening with the system. Because remember, the diet is out of balance. If she's a little weighty, a little obese.
Yeah, she's a little weighty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we have to consider all of that as well. So nutrition will be diet will be
very important. Yes, I agree. So start a half a pack two times per day for about 3 to 6 months, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right then. And thank you so much, Doc, for all you do for us.
Joy.
God bless.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Joy. Appreciate you. So Marva, before your arm falls off, you can you could ask your question.
This is a serious question. I'm asking for a friend. It's not me. Is it safe for is it safe for a woman to get pregnant over 40? Or at 40 years old?
That's the question, Marva?
Yes.
All right. Yes, it's safe for a woman.
I didn't say 60, I said 40.
Well, those are getting pregnant over 60, so why not 40, right? Yes, it is according to how their biosystem and biostructure is. So when I meet a person of that nature and that age, I have to go through them, like a fine-teeth comb. So according to how the biosystems react, how they are, I have to look at their genetic formation and so forth. But yes, it's possible. And most times some people are now going through premenopause and menopause. So even though they still can't get pregnant. Once the body is healthy, the gene factors and everything that I look at, because I do fertility programs as well. And I've had a lot of, a 52-year-old woman got pregnant under my program. Actually, she was just doing things on a healthy nature and so forth and so forth. And hubby.
I'm sorry, what age?
52. At 52. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have grandchildren so big, 20. I said, well, maybe this one is the baby doodoo for you now. So,
yeah, playmates.
So yeah. So yes, it is. So if they need to and they're serious on it, we can have a chat. Yeah, on a private.
She really wants to. She's been a good girl for all her life, for too long, I guess. And she's had a lot of female issues. I told her that I should get her to speak with you, because she didn't want to try the products at all. And finally she decided to, because she's always spotting right through the month. She's spotting. And since she's been drinking out my stuff, trying the stuff, right? She had one big push of bleeding. where she had to run. And after that, no more spotting.
Wow.
Right? So I said to her, your body just got cleared out. Now you gotta, eat the veggies and the fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff, and
Yeah,
see where that
that
goes.
is correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct, because many persons have the benign tumors, right? That we know are fibroids, and even though
Mhm.
some of them had irregular menstrual cycles and so forth, at 42, a young woman was starting to take this stuff, and she started to have a proper menstruation.
Yeah.
So you see, it does regulate. You see, the formulation in itself is engineered to correct the microbiome. And this is why I decided to touch on it, because women have so much of issues, and it stems from that. Painful periods, painful, the doctors tell you when you start to get sexually active, you won't have the pain again. If they become sexually active, they still have pain. Then when they have their first child, all these little myths and things that is
Mhm.
said to us. But it's because the irregularity and our microbiome is out of balance. These hormones get out of whack, and we have all these issues going on within us. So
And we're talking about the 2, 3 week period that this has
yes,
happened. So I'm saying to her, you're getting a great reaction, so buy the product. Stop drinking out mine. Buy the product, and so you can have a more steady consumption of it, so that way
yes,
this can work sooner or later, because the clock is ticking real
yeah.
hard, right?
Yeah. You see,
Okay,
people
great.
doesn't realize that, you want to, they're treating it like a pharmaceutical drug. No, when it
Yeah,
comes to the body and how it functions, you must bring mind, body, and soul into that, meaning that the diet must be in line with the product to help it. Because many people just want to take a Balaj and say, okay, that is going to fix all, problems. No, it's not a fix it problem. It's actually making the body do what it needs to do, preparing the body. Because listen, at the end of the day, we are not supposed to take vitamins and minerals. We're supposed to get it
mhm,
out of the food that we eat. But because we
exactly.
are not getting that, now these supplements has brought about life within the body. So it is reactivating the cells. And if I so may go into the mRNAs and so forth, because so many of our cells are dying that it doesn't recognize the signals to create these microbiomes. So the stem cells are now dying because they cannot remember, because it's so degenerated either by vaccines or by foods we eat, by chemicals, antibiotics we put into our bodies. So now it has come to a point where we have to bring back their signals, their remembrance. And that is what is happening now. And once these cells have remembered, they are going to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's amazing though that these formulations are working so well with people, and they're looking at the price of it. But if they were to break it down and see how much they're spending on these formulations per day, they'll be buying more, because is they're buying a certain amount, and it seemed like a heavy price. But breaking it down, going to get coffee at the Starbucks and stuff, it's more expensive than to have one of these during the day, you know.
It is
So
true. I always
yeah.
tell people, they always say that it's expensive to be healthy. Try being sick.
Try
Try
not to
being
be
sick. They will
sick.
spend every last dime to not stay in a hospital bed.
Yeah, and the pain that goes along with it, and
Yes,
you're in a hospital, you can't go to work, so all the bills are piling up, and you're there fretting
that's
about your
right.
bills. So it just gets worse, you know.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, thank you very much. And
You're
that's
welcome,
been
Marvel.
okay.
Welcome. Beautiful
Thank you so
queen
much,
out of
Marva.
Canada.
Yes. So before we close out, I always like when I see her on, I always want to bring her up. She is the ambassador for the Caribbean market for Psyche Global. Queen Beverly Wholeness, I don't know if you are available to speak. Let's see. But if you are, can you unmute? Not sure. Are you there? She might not be able to unmute. Is she? No. Okay, she's not unmuting. I'm trying to unmute you. Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure she had the opportunity to speak if she was out there. So with that being said, back over to you. Never mind. There we go. She unmuted. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm here, Dr. Ruth, and I was trying desperately to open, but I was locked out again. Wow, what an minute I get on feeling so good. Dr. Denise, you're awesome. Love you, darling. The information that you shared, persons don't understand how powerful these informations are. They don't understand the kind of money that you would have had to pay if you were to go to a seminar. They really don't understand that when you go, and I love my medical doctors, really love them. They serve a valuable purpose. They're invaluable. We love them. But you know what? They do not have the time to give us the kind of information that we get. Today is Saturday. Most persons cuddling up with their loved one. Maybe they're out having dinner, maybe at a movie because, the whole country is open. And to see all of us, especially you, Dr. Denise, the presenter this evening, we are here. We hear these information over and over, and every time we hear them, they get sweeter. The more you hear these information is the more it concretizes in you that we should be living different. It concretizes, it cement in you that whatever we are doing, we need to either continue, improve, and we need to be telling. And I'm going to say this over and over. It is a sin if we have these informations, especially when, Dr. Denise speak about, the inner seven. I'm like, a lot of person will take that package and see this little white pack with little salt water. Understand our or different minerals. If we understand that the food that we're eating now that we should be getting minerals from, we ain't getting any minerals from it because there is so much soil erosion, fungicide, pesticide, killercide, deadicide. The earth is literally crying out. So the nutrients that we should be getting from the food, we are not getting it. And to understand that a company like Sankey Global has gone 3 or more football fields deep in the deep blue ocean of Aquanawa to ensure that they get the original mineral, the organic mineral, right? And then add more mineral to it. We don't understand the privilege that we have. We don't understand that we need to reinforce our body. No, because guys, nothing is constant. We don't know when this will not happen again. But one thing I know for sure, and my grandmother always tell me, if you take care of yourself from now, then later on, you won't have a lot to do because you will just be in maintenance mode. And I want to preach and beg all of you on this call. Let us not be proactive with our health. Let us continue to be reactive with our health, because from day to day, and I'm sure, Dr. Denise, you can attest to this, when persons come to you, I know you personally, we are sisters from another mother for over 12 years now. And when persons come to you, Dr. Denise, and this is what you do, the blood, they want a quick fix. They want something now. They want a Panadol. And you have got to look them in the eye, Dr. Denise, based on what you do. When you look at these capillaries in front of us, when you look at the blood, you and many times, because I have been in Trinidad with you while you are working, you have worked on my body before. So I know your caliber. You have seen, I remember the first time you did my blood, you did not know that I was working with scrap metals, and you were able to see it. So we know that you are a genius, you are a master, you are an expert. And persons will come to you, Dr. Denise, from time to time, and they are almost dying. And I know you are able to see it, and they want you to fix them now. They are saying to you, Dr. Denise, what can you give me to fix? No, I'm sure Dr. Ruth and many of us on this call, men call us with erectile dysfunction. And I'm like, how long have you been having erectile dysfunction? 5, 10 years. And they've said, what you have can help me now. And everybody want a quick fix now. And we have got to be saying these are supplements. Supplement in the Oxford Dictionary mean inhale huff. What have you been doing with your health? We are saying to you, the products will help you, but you need to maintain. When persons said, oh, after me buy that 1 year, it's so expensive. Me have to go back, go buy it again. I told a man today, I said, you have bought women apartment and they still leave you. You have bought cars and you don't have it. Your house big and you only can live in one room. And we need to talk. When we talk about these products, we need to talk without apology. Don't apologize to anybody to tell them that, oh, the product is a little bit expensive. The product is not expensive. Based on the research, this company have done 40 years of research, nanotechnology. They have done everything. They grow their vegetation organically, not chemically, so that we get the best of the best. I am not going to apologize to Mama, Papa, Ishi, or the old lady about the price and how long you should take it. I am standing firm that the things that you are doing, right, it's not good for you. So what you need to do is start put your health on top of the list and stop talking rubbish about they are too expensive, right? Because people live at KFC, they live at Burger King, they live on some junk that is not doing their body any good. So I am speaking from the cloud now on these products, because I am seeing daily what these products are doing. And I'm seeing daily how persons are coming to us, Dr. Denise, for a quick fix, a Panadol, a Fenzik, and Advil, because they want the problem to go away immediately. We are saying to them, those of you who are sick, these will help you. Those of you who are healthy, these products will help you to remain healthy. And that is the health message, because we are not a sickness company. We are a health company who want to ensure that we keep you at equilibrium. We want to ensure that you are balanced. That's where we are. We know that all of us are going to die, but we don't need to die kicking and screaming. We want to die pretty. We want to die basically in good health. We want to just go to our bed and don't wake up because our time has come. We don't need to die suffering. We don't need to die in the hospital with no drip. We don't need to die with no cancer, no diabetes, no arthritis, no that. I said to persons, even a guy that I was talking to at my store today, I said, these products are not for the high, the head, the toe, the foot. These products are for the body. Sankey Global deal with product from the head to the toe. So what we're giving you is to take care of the whole man, the whole system, the 12-organ system that you were created with. And I'm going to implore all my leaders and everybody on this call, when you're talking about these products, don't hold down your head. Hold your head above your chin, because the work and the research that has gone into these products and the kind of lives that these products are saving, both in terms of your health and your wealth, we need to be proud. So again, guys, I'm going to close, because I can talk for 2 days by saying, if you fail to plan for your health and plan for yourself, you are failing to plan the society. You are planning to fail your family. And more than ever, you are failing yourself and you are failing the people who love you. Back over to you, Dr. Denise and Dr. Ruth Ann.
Wow. As always, I'm always blown away with your passion, Queen Bev. It's always, breathtaking, because persons don't understand the importance of their health, and you just drive it home how important it is. So once again, I want to say thank you for everything that you do, Dr. Denise. Thank you, Queen Bev, Marva, Joy for asking her question, Pastor Moss for asking your question, for being brave enough to be that person that asks a question, because oftentimes people are scared to ask. So I want to say thank you to everybody that participated, and thank you to you, our co-hosts, all of those that showed up for the information. For those on Facebook, those on YouTube, we want to say thank you for getting on. And if you need a recording of this, you can check out my YouTube channel. We have it there with all of the recordings of the different programs that we do. And like Bev said, it's information that you can't pay for. So it's information that you can't pay for. So I would recommend that you definitely check them out. Check out the information. We have a men's program on Friday nights with Nurse Adderley. Saturdays is for the women. Tuesdays is the microbiome. And every single night at 6 Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, I do a call just sharing you about the information about Sankey Global, the company that we're a part of, and the importance of microcirculation every single day at 7 p.m. So look forward to seeing you on any of those programs with us, and invite a guest. That's all we ask. Invite a guest so the information can be shared and we can get this information to the masses. So good night, good night, good night. Thank you to all that have come on. And like I always like to say, is service to humanity, guys, is service to